In Allah's mercy, a comforting embrace, bringing peace and hope to everyone's space, bringing peace and hope to everyone's space. The immense mercy of Allah Almighty.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. After Hamd and Salat, we welcome you in this beautiful program, The Immense Mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Respected viewers of Madani Channel, before we proceed towards our topic of the day, which is status of scholars and Imam Wasiti Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh, and how the rahmat of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is connected to this topic, we'll explain you. But before we proceed towards the topic of the day, let's make a few good intentions. My Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahl Sunnah, Hazrat Allama Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Attar Qadri, Damat Barakatul Aliyah, has given us a beautiful mindset that we should make good intentions before we perform any permissible task or any good deed. I'm presenting this program and you're watching. We can all make intentions. We will listen this program for the pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We'll remember what we learn, act upon, and pass this knowledge on to others. I make this intention, I'll do this for the pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which should be the foremost intention of every believer before performing any permissible task or any good deed. You can ask your family members, they can come and sit in front of Madani Channel's TV screen, because inshallah, you'll be learning a lot. We can all learn together. We can all seek mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala together. And this is the ashara of rahmah. We must seek the mercy from the Lord Azza wa Jal in this very ashara, Ramadan al-Kareem, ashara of rahmah. Respected viewers, today, as I earlier said, we'll be talking about the status of ulama, maqam, rutbah, the rank in the court of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala they possess. And one of the beautiful ways to attain the mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is that either we should start learning, we become talib al-ilm, or we associate ourselves with ulama-i kiram, with these scholars of Deen Islam. We should attach ourselves with these people who are learned, who are people of knowledge. We should have our sitting, our gathering with these ulama, who have got the recognition of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who can guide us how we can protect our iman. And through these gatherings, our attachment with ulama and our attachment with deen, with ilm, with knowledge, especially being as talib ilm, being student of Deen Islam, will give us a great hope that we can attain the mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Yes, this is what we're going to discuss today. Respected viewers, Yazid bin Maz'ur says that I saw Sayyiduna Imam Awza'i Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh in my dream after his passing away. And I asked, "Oh Abu Amr, tell me an action through which I can get the proximity of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala." It was replied, "Here I did not see any rank higher than the rank of ulama, scholars of Deen Islam. And after that, the rank is the people who are grieved." Respected viewers of Madani Channel, we heard a personality who's left this mortal world, and he is telling an action which can get us closer to the mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which can get us closer to the proximity, qurb of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And the action, what he said, was knowledge of Deen Islam, learning ilm, right? And the rank of ulama, those that possess knowledge, those that have got ilm, he said that he did not find any rank higher than the rank of ulama before Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So this tells us that we should also seek knowledge of Deen Islam. Because this is knowledge which can lead towards the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ma'rifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without knowledge, we cannot attain the proximity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let me tell you that what status is of learned people. Sayyidina Kasir bin Qais radiallahu ta'ala and said, I was sitting in the masjid of Damascus, attaining the blessing of the companion Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anhu. A person came and requested, O Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, I have travelled from the city of Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam in your court to listen to a blessed hadith. I've learned that you narrate that blessed hadith. Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala and asked, other than listening to the blessed hadith, was trade not your main objective of travelling from Medina Sharif to Damascus? He humbly replied, no. Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala asked him again, other than this, is there any other reason for your travelling? He humbly said, no. I have travelled such a long distance only for listening to this very blessed hadith. Upon figuring out the eagerness for listening to the blessed hadith of Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam and his pursuit to Islamic knowledge, Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala and began to relate that blessed hadith. Indeed, I've heard from Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam saying, Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman sahhala Allahu lahu tariqan ilal jannah. Allah Azza wa Jal makes the way to paradise easy for the one who treads any path in pursuit of knowledge, in search of knowledge. And then further he said, وَإِنَّ الْمَلَائِكَةَ لَتَضَعُ أَجْنِحَتَهَا رِضًا لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ. And angels spread their arms for the seeker of knowledge to make him happy. وَإِنَّ طَالِبَ الْعِلْمِ يَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ حَتَّى الْحِيتَانِ فِي الْمَاءِ. Allahu Akbar. And every creation that lives in the sky and the earth, even the fish in the water, pray for the forgiveness of the seeker of knowledge. وَإِنَّ فَضْلَ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ كَفَضْلِ الْقَمَرِ عَلَى سَائِرِ الْكَوَاكِبِ. Subhanallah. And indeed, the superiority of the scholar over the worshipper is like the superiority of the moon above all the stars. إِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ وَرَثَةُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. Without doubt, scholars are the heirs of the blessed prophets. عليهم الصلاة والسلام. إِنَّ الْأَنْبِيَاءَ لَمْ يُوَرِّثُوا دِينَارًا وَلَا دِرْهَمًا. The prophets عليهم السلام do not leave dinar and dirhams as legacy, but rather they leave knowledge as legacy. Therefore, whoever has gained knowledge, he has attained a big portion from the inheritance of the prophets alayhi salatu wassalam. This hadith is mentioned in Ibn Majah, volume 1, page 145, hadith 223. Respected viewers of Madani Channel, did you listen the fadail, the excellences of ulama? Those they are the seekers of knowledge, those who are students of Deen Islam. Allahu Akbar. This is the reason why their rank in the hereafter is such that there was no other rank found. Because this is what we learn from this hadith. The maqam, the excellence of scholars, the excellence of students of Deen Islam, those that seek knowledge, those that strive in the path of knowledge, those they seek knowledge of Deen Islam, Quran, Hadith. When they strive, they get barakah in this dunya. We heard the excellences, subhanallah. Not only this, what we heard on the Day of Judgment, they rank what we learned from a wali of Allah, who mentioned that here, meaning there, he did not find any rank higher than the rank of ulama. What should we do? We should become student of Deen Islam. We should also seek knowledge, and we should attach ourselves with ulama. We should respect them. We should love them. We should gain their company. We should sit with them. And inshaAllah Azza wa Jal, this will take us closer to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This will inshaAllah give us salvation in this dunya and hereafter too. Let me tell you about a scholar, an Imam. Allahu Akbar. Sayyiduna Abu Bistam Shu'bah bin Hajjaj bin Warda Ataki Wasiti rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi was a great scholar of hadith, and he was very great Imam. Today we learnt about the status of scholars and look at his ilm, his knowledge, and what barakah and blessings he attained. Allahu Akbar. His memory, his intellect, his faham was to the next level. He was born in 82 after Hijri in a place called Wasit, and he was raised there. He lived all his life in Basra, and he passed away in 160 after Hijri in Basra. Hazrat Sayyidina Imam Ahmad alayhi rahmatullahi ta'ala says that in the matters of hadith, Sayyidina Shu'bah rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, he just alone is equal to a gathering. Hazrat Sayyidina Imam Muhammad bin Idris Shafi'i rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi says that if Sayyidina Shu'bah rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi wasn't there, then in Iraq, the ma'rifah of hadith wouldn't reach in Iraq. He was also a great poet. Respected viewers of Madani Channel, such a great scholar. When he was seen after his departure from this mortal world in a dream, then it was seen that Sayyidina Mis'ar bin Kidam rahmatullahi ta'ala, and he was holding his hand, and both were wearing attire of Noor. Subhanallah. And I asked, "Oh, Abu Bistam, ma fa'ala Allahu bika?" How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treat you? It was replied, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave me. And I asked, what was the reason? It was replied that I was truthful in the matters of hadith, and to propagate and publicize that. And I made sure in the matter of this and trust. Then rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi mentioned few couplets. And the translation of those is as, my Lord Azza wa Jal gave me a palace in Jannah which contain 1,000 doors, and they are made of silver and pearls. This honor for Mis'ar is enough that very soon he will behold me, and I will grant him my qurb, my proximity, and he will behold me without any way. Respected viewers of Madani Channel, when you learn, when you seek knowledge, when you teach this knowledge to others, and a rank of a scholar what we learned from this very episode, and the rank of a scholar what we learned from this very episode. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq that we also become students of Deen Islam. We also seek knowledge and we associate ourselves with ulama, because this is a beautiful means to get and seek the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get the proximity in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's all for today. We'll be back with another beautiful episode. Keep watching Madani Channel. Until next time, keep reciting salat upon Nabi. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
In Allah's mercy, a comforting embrace, bringing peace and hope to everyone's space, bringing peace and hope to everyone's space. The immense mercy of Allah Almighty.